Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Welcome back to another live show. And let's see, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about everything. Let me do the audio settings here. Let's see. Sorry everyone, just doing a setting here. Let's see. Changing some settings here, and I'll be right there. Let's see, meeting. Yo, 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 what's up, man? I think your microphone's on mute.
I did. I had it on mute.
There
I
you go.
agree. I'm guilty.
Let's see. Let me put. We got Greg on the show, and I think we've got. I think Brad's coming in. I don't know. I don't know who all is going to be on tonight. Let's see. Let me share our screen here, because I've still got you on the. Let's see. Here we go. Monitor number 2. Bingo. So here we go, everybody, and we've got. This is episode 122. So I think tonight, man. So Greg, you want to talk about drones, your drone business, anything you want to chat about tonight? I know last night we kind of went heavy with the A10 Mini Pro.
Yeah. I have a little small handheld thing I do for super small jobs, but yeah, you guys were. It was fascinating to listen. I learned some things. A lot of it, I was just kind of nodding my head to kind of stay in the conversation. But drone work. My main money maker is right here, the Phantom 4 Pro, looking right at you.
That's cool. I like your tag on the front of it too, so you don't forget to remove the.
Oh, actually, I put that. I got one on my keychain for my car, and then for the motorcycle key on my bike, I got that on there. Yeah, I got that on Amazon. 3 of them for like $6, and they're pretty heavy duty.
That's cool, man. Yeah, those are important. We've got Jake on here too. Jake, do you want to dial in with Greg and I on the Skype? If you do, man, shoot me your email and I'll send you the link to it. So you do. So Greg, you do the. So you do a lot of. Is that your primary gig or just one of your gigs?
I'm sorry. The primary what?
I think we got a little bit of echo there. I think my speaker's on. Hold on, that's my bad. Did that fix it? How about
I think so.
Yeah, I think that fixed it. So you had mentioned, and I see it behind you right there, the Inspire.
Oh, yeah, she's a beast. I know. Fun to fly though, but my horizon is always like this when I'm flying and trying to capture, good stuff. So I don't, unless I manually go on there and twist it like this to get the shot. As soon as I turn the drone this way, the wind's coming from another direction, and then the horizon's this way. The Phantom 4 does better on the gimbal, correcting it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why I even have this. I've never even really made money with it. The kids love me flying this thing because it's huge, but honestly, I've made very much money with this, and content even for myself. This is like too big to bring up in the mountains. The case is huge. It's bulky. The backpack. I'd be like that kid with, when he falls over in the snow, he's got so much clothes on, he can't get up. He's like a turtle. So, I've got a nice backpack, carry 3 batteries in here with the battery included in there. And this, heavy duty, look at those pads on there. I got this on Amazon, and I've fallen back on this thing, and I don't know. It's my go-to.
That is cool. Yeah, and I can see you've got your case inside of it, inside of the backpack.
Yes. Yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I've got another big one back here. It's got zoom. It's made by Power Vision, and I spent so much money on it. And right now, you can get it for like $1,100.
You're talking about
I have
the Inspire?
No. This is the Power Vision Power Eye, and I have a zoom lens on here. It's a Panasonic camera, and I have a 14 to 42 millimeter zoom Olympus lens on there, interchangeable, just pop right off. Why'd I buy this? It's Wi-Fi, so you basically need to be in wide open spaces. I've tried to do some stuff in the city, trees, buildings. It loses signal, and you lose the shot. The camera changes the ISO aperture a lot when it's focusing in and out and turning. They stopped making them. They were going to make a thermal camera for this. So it's got the vision sensors, and here's an FPV. So you can download the app, and somebody can on a tablet can control this camera, go zoom in and turns it 360 up and down. You can look up the blades. And then I would be looking on my tablet flying through this eye right here. So, I mean, they had potential, but I don't even think I can sell this. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's, it's the first time I've seen that in person. It looks really cool.
It weighs about close to 10 pounds. It's got 15.5-inch propellers on it. So very, very big propellers on it, basically like the Inspire. It sounds really cool when it's flying. It whistles. It does have about a 30-minute flight time. Batteries are close to $250. It's actually, here's one of the batteries right here. You look real close, it's 2 batteries together.
Oh, wow.
So this whole thing pops off, and these are actually 2 batteries together. So it's a 9,000 milliamp.
So what kind of flight time did you get out of that? Or do you get out of it, rather?
Close to 30 minutes. It handles close to an Inspire. But like I said, the camera, when you turn that bird, you need to be real slow. You can't get stuff. That would be too much movement for the aperture to kick in, and just. I've got several videos on it, and they wanted to send me free stuff to try and demo it, and I just never had any use for it. I've a couple things on the news on some flooding. I did use this, but the thing was just idling, just standing in one spot, and then I was able to zoom in and zoom out, and then it works fine. But if you move that around, I don't know. I would never use it to, I don't know. I don't want to talk too much stuff about it, but I'm surprised that you haven't heard about it. Power Vision has the Power Egg. I mean, that looks junk.
That's the one I heard of was the Egg. That's the only Power Vision I've heard of was the Egg.
No, they just came out with a smaller version of the Egg that flies through rain. Honestly, I think that a lot of drones fly through rain. I have, for short periods of time, been rained on. The prop wash takes it away. So, I mean, I'm sure you could get away with it. But honestly, I mean, here's the transmitter for it. I put some thumbs on it. And so this is called the base station, and this charges on its own too. It has its own charge port. This, you can only get about maybe 10 flights out of it, and then you're going to need to charge it. This transmitter, I used it probably 50 times, and it always said it was charged. And I finally got a hold of the manufacturer, and they're like, yeah, it's got it. They put a way big battery in this thing. So a year later, this thing finally took a charge, and it took like an hour to charge up. So I guess they put a big battery in here, not a very big battery in here. And this is how you link this Wi-Fi to the drone. So when you open up the app, you go into your Wi-Fi settings, and you click Power Vision, and it takes a second, and these bend up, and it claims to get 3.1 mile range, close to what DJI does. But like I you go around a corner, you're standing behind a tree, I basically had to be wide open in the field. So it's not hardwired. The only thing that's hardwired is base station to the remote to tell it what to do. So there's some lag in there too. And I've tried to use this before in production and just trying to do some new construction areas just to kind of mess around with it. And I'd get halfway through the video and be doing really good, and then the screen would start to lag, and I'd forget where I'm at. So I don't know what to do with the controllers, and by the time I've been thinking what I'm going to be doing, and it's never good to do that when you can't see what you're doing. Shot was ruined. So not really impressed with it. I don't even know how about going to sell it. I'm pretty happy with the Phantom 4 Pro, and I think I may just stay with that. I've had this one for 2 years now. It's been in the mountains with me twice. It's an easy to go to this and gather the content. I mean, it's great. I think that they've done a great job. But let's put it back to you. I know you're not too happy with the Inspire. I've heard you say a few good things about the Phantom. If you have any other questions about the Inspire, let me know.
Well, that's it. Well, first of all, that Power Vision thing's interesting because I've never seen that in person or on video. So what, it's interesting. Unique had another one. They had the Typhoon H, these drones that look cool. And then to your point, they just kind of go away. The Inspire is kind of a different animal because, obviously it's made by DJI. The reason that I dislike the Inspire is that it was, what's the word for it? It came out, after the Phantom, and they had the big launch event. The Mythbuster guys were there, and wherever they were doing the DJI launch event, and it looked cool. The Inspire looks awesome. To your point, it looks really cool. But I was, at the time it came out, I was afraid that the Inspire was going to be the new direction of DJI. I wanted something smaller, something lighter. The Phantom's good and portable, no doubt. But I wanted something smaller and lighter, and I was afraid when they went with the Inspire that when they took that direction that they were going to go, bigger, heavier, bigger camera. Something for me, I'm an adventure traveler, so, I need something I can throw in a dry bag and throw in there with a bunch of other gear.
Right.
But, yeah, man. So, do you like the Inspire? Do you think you'll ever really use it? It sounds like your Phantom 4 Pro is your bread and butter.
Yeah, you got that right. I just have the standard X4, I think it is, camera that comes standard with the Inspire. I can put the X5 on there or something. It does 30 frames per second in 4K and only 12 or 15 megapixels. The Phantom, does up to 60 frames per second and 20 megapixels and has a 1-inch sensor. I don't know. I have 3 batteries for the Inspire, and I bought those over a year ago before the Inspire 1 batteries became crazy hard to find and crazy expensive. So I've probably had 10 long flights with that. It's like I said, the even on non-windy days, the horizon was just taking, and I know people in Photoshop can fix that and Adobe Premiere, there's ways around that. And some of my customers are like, it's no big deal, just leave it. It personally, it bothers me when I'm trying to produce something for, I don't know, I try to produce as much as I can and not let the customer do too much editing, because I try not to get into editing, and I just want to pull my hair out about editing. But I don't know. I haven't flown it in over a year. I recently just charged up all the batteries, downloaded the correct DJI app, because there's a different app that I use for my Phantom 4, which does the Maverick side, and then didn't have any problems, flew it all around. It actually did really good. But like I said, again, with the camera, the horizon goes bad. So I don't even know if I'd want to spend, the money for an X5 or something with a good lens on there. I really don't know. I haven't really played around with other than the little X4, the little small round camera that comes with it.
What's funny is with the Phantom, you can get such good results, and then with the, like you were saying, you want to avoid editing and this, that, and the other. If if your customer, it sounds like your customers are, are proud of the Phantom product, why use something that's more cumbersome and, and makes your workflow more, makes your workflow more cumbersome rather.
Does. I've tried doing, Adobe Premiere and working with it, and there's reasons that movie productions and the commercials and the news use that. Is you got to be smart. I mean, there's a lot to it, and I've worked on it, and I've had things render for hours, and then it goes bye.
But I know how that goes, man. It's just one of the coolest things. I guess one of the coolest things I did, and this was a 15-minute project, right? It was about a year ago today, actually, or not today, yesterday. I was in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, and I had the Mavic 2 Pro, and that was right after Epstein's Island had been raided by the FBI. So I droned that thing.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, man. So like that took, literally 15 or 20 minutes, however long the flight was. And, I was talking to my wife, and I'm like, yeah, I said, I know you're ready to get on the ferry because you got to take a car ferry, a car barge over to St. John. And they only run every 30 minutes, and there was only like 2 left that day. So if it had been full, we would have been stuck. And I just said, look, I said, this is worth it. So sure enough, I put the videos up on YouTube. You can find them on my channel. I don't know if you've seen them yet. It's Little St. James Island.
I watched some of it. I think that night I did watch some of it. That's crazy you were able to get that footage. That's epic, actually.
Well, the cool thing was I didn't advertise it. I put it up on YouTube, and there's several big time documentaries that are using that footage now. So it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. So yesterday I said that I'm looking at my personal page. January 20th, 2010 was when I started Gregory Ruger, and honestly, I didn't know. Like you, I had just had a camera. I didn't know where to put the content. Got investigated by the police because my neighbor's house was on fire and I was there filming it. So yeah, I learned real quick about YouTube, and I didn't realize, Big Brother, but it was a learning. I was boxing at the time. I had no idea about content. I just gotten into flying drones, pretty much just flying drones. 2010? It's crazy. Yeah, I guess. Because 2001 is when I started flying remote control airplanes and helicopters, and then flying little cameras and using foam and duct tape and flying them. And then the person I'm with, I'd fall off, and then I'd see the camera fall hard like a rock, but I got to pay attention to the plane because the balance is off, and I got to adjust all the trim. And then the friend I'm with is looking at the piece of foam floating in the air real slow, saying, "There's the camera." It wasn't the camera. The camera fell fast.
Did you ever do those Estes model rockets that you would, the little rockets you'd build?
Yes, I have a box of them over here. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm way big into that stuff. Yeah, I do. Oh, that's crazy. I just haven't put all this shit away. Well, here's one. Yeah. Yep. I've tried to shoot drones out of the sky with these. I've got some that are like 3 feet tall. Oh yeah, they're fun. I haven't gotten them out too much lately, but yeah, these are still. I grew up doing these when I was a kid, and they're fun. They're fun, and on a non-windy day, so you might not get it back. You know what? It's $8-10, but whatever, it's worth it.
I put back before drones came out, I put the little keychain cameras in the nose cone of those of the Estes rockets, and it was kind of cool. It was kind of, it was attached to the parachute and it would spin around, but it actually got some really cool, some cool footage for, I don't know how many years ago that was, 15, 20 years. I can't even remember.
Was it like video, or was it just taking like a bunch of still photos?
Well, I did it with video. It was a little cheap, like Chinese made. It looked like a keychain. It was like a spy camera, I guess, but it was small and lightweight, and it was small enough to launch with the rocket. So it was video. I think it was like 480p or something.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, what is that?
It's a little FPV drone that has a little 4 or 5 inch screen on the transmitter. The transmitter is holding up my umbrella light right now. Anyway, I can connect from the transmitter and wear goggles and fly this thing, and I can fly this outside in windy conditions. Oh, I can't remember who makes these. They're not very expensive now. They're like $67, and they fly for about 7 minutes, and they do flips and all that stuff. Camera right here, and there's the little receiver antenna. You can go around corners if you're real good. You can fly around the house, and they're quiet. I fly these in the winter time because we live in Iowa. A lot of news. I mean, I still go out and fly, but it slows down like a sport. So I fly these around the house, and they keep my game going. When it's coming towards you, it's just, I don't know. I love it. I will try and look for the name of this and then put a link in the description of what it is, because those are fun and the batteries are cheap. And I bought, like, I don't know, this 10 batteries, and I can charge 3 batteries on each side in the USB, and they charge up in about a half hour. And I don't know, I'm usually tired of flying with it after about 4 batteries.
That looks cool, man. Now, what's your channel URL? I want to make sure I've got that published in the chat for everyone.
It's Gregory Ruger. Is that? Yeah. Gregory Ruger at gmail.com, or?
Is that the name of your, like, if I go on YouTube and search, is it just Gregory Ruger?
Yep, Gregory Ruger. Yep. Yeah, and then my website, if you just type in GregoryRuger.com, it'll take you to my website. Then I have my own private email, Greg at GregoryRuger@outlook.com. No, at GregoryRuger.com.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Cool. Now, do you have a YouTube? Oh, there's your YouTube channel right there. I'm going to link this.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, you subscribed like, a month ago?
Yeah.
That was nice. That was nice. I don't put too much content out there like I used to. A lot of the times I'm being hired, so the content that I put up there, unless they tell me that I can put it up, it's kind of get paid to create. You never get to see it again, but you do get to see the finished product sometimes. And then I've been doing some work for a developer called Johnston Economic, and at the videos they put drone footage and then my company logo on. When I first saw that, I'm not kidding you, I got like a tear to my eye, because that was better than saying it's Greg Mitchell, or they're saying something I could. And my mom did not like this name, Gregory Ruger, and it has nothing to do with guns. It's because I used to box, and they called it Ruger because they got the guns. That's the only reason I called it Gregory Ruger. True story.
That's funny, man. Yeah, but yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I mean, so it sounds like you've made a good business out of using drones then.
It's more than paid for my hobby's expense, and then giving me satisfaction. A lot of the stuff in my house I have printed on tin and canvas of work that I've done myself and printed out. I've sold some of it. So, like I said last night, can I quit my job? No. It is an extra nice coin he has. And am I getting paid to do something I like to do and I've always loved to do? That's priceless. I probably will drive a truck till I'm old and gray, but I think I'll always have that part of me with drones too, and that that the experience of talking to enthusiasts like you. They have a lot of experience, and it's priceless to me.
It's a huge industry, and I don't think that hopefully after hopefully the regulations will ease up a little bit, because there's so much opportunity for drone delivery and a lot of commercial applications that we haven't even dreamed up yet. I mean, I'm like you. I mean, drones are just kind of you know, they can provide, you know, the Part 107. You can do really well with it. It'd be awesome to turn it into a full-time gig and have like a franchise or something. That'd be awesome and be the top of the ladder.
Hey, I got shirts for sale and hoodies and all that, but yeah, I got all that, and I hooked all my family and friends up at work. They be coming to work, wearing my gear, and I'm like, yeah.
There you go.
Yes. But yeah, I'm not super famous. I did bid on a Discovery job, and I probably shouldn't even talk about this, but Discovery Channel is doing something in Brooklyn, New York. Oh, it's real easy, but it paid a lot, and it was just basically following the commentator, the guy that's the host or whatever, just doing small shots like that. But that's pretty far away from me. So I live here in Iowa.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I've done. And I could talk about it now because it's after the fact, because it's, you know, it's already happened. But you'll find my footage if you watch that Epstein documentary on Netflix. I've got a lot of footage in that.
That is so credible.
It was cool because, like, the intro to it is called, the name of the show, I think it was Epstein Filthy Rich, that's on Netflix. But when you watch the intro, it's kind of like, they kind of made it like black and white, but it's his island and it's approaching the island. And that was the drone shot that I shot, one of the shots. It just, I mean, it's cool, you know, just to see your footage. You know, it's like, you know, I spent 15 minutes of my time capturing that, and just to see how, you know, how professionals will take that, you know, like to your point, they'll take that footage and turn it into something, you know, something just amazing.
Yeah, that's what editors, you know, and that's what I shoot for. You know, if for instance I was shooting a few acres of to be developed land, just field. And I was just wrapping up a shot, and I got a huge gust of wind, and I'll use this little drone. And my camera went like this really quick in the footage. So I don't know if the whole drone went like that. I'm pretty sure the gimbal reached its maximum speed or whatever. But yeah, I've had that happen quite a bit.
That's crazy, man. Well, so what you got on the radar? Anything like exciting projects or any sort of drone things you'd like to get into?
My wife is massaged. Yeah. I'll start where I just wrapped off, and I thought it'd just be a couple 16 gig thumb drives. It turned out to be 4 16 gig thumb drives of material. It was 18 different locations, about a minute of video. They only wanted about a minute of video and about 5 still pictures of each of the very detailed shot list, and it's just locations around where I live. And then I've had a relationship with them now for 2 years, and I didn't know what a relationship. I was like, I'm married, and the owner of the development company is like, I want to execute this deal, and I'm like, who's dying, yo? Big words I didn't know. So my mother actually writes the bills for me. I've had her show up there and sit in and listen, and I've built a rapport with them, and I give them probably 2 to 5 minutes on each location, snap probably 10 to 20 different pictures in RAW and JPEG for them, and just wrap that up. I do a spring, a summer, and a fall shoot every year for them, and they put together of the areas where they're just breaking the ground, to where the foundation's being set, to the walls are being poured, and they put it into a high-speed video and just show the growth and production of it. Just wrapped up the fall shoot. I'm getting ready to do a golf course through them. So they got so good. These office ladies got so good doing editing and learning Adobe Premiere and doing it. Their videos are catching the eye of other people. So people are hiring me to film for them, and they're paying them to get the edited content. So that's coming up. My wife is a massage therapist, and one of her clients sells homes and businesses. And I'm going to be doing 3 grocery stores coming up. So that's coming up. And then I drive a truck and recycling too.
That is crazy how all those projects blend together, man.
Yeah.
Hybrid Life's gonna dial in with us. Let me get let's see, I'm grabbing this link right here. Let's see, copy link. I'm gonna shoot this over to him. He's gonna dial in with us.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, dude, that's crazy, man. All those different activities going on. Sorry, I'm having to find this.
I think he's cool.
Having to find. I lost my. Oh, there we go. There it is. I was like, I lost my. I'm having to get the email up to shoot him a link, but I got the link. There we go. 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 Aha.
7:40. He said he'll join in about 10 minutes.
Oh, Hybrid Life
1
did?
minute. Yeah. It's cool.
Cool, man.
I'm just trying to scroll through some of these comments. Well, what about you, man? I mean, I started YouTube and I didn't, know what I was doing. And back then, if you got over 100 subscribers, they would let you put ads on there. And then in 2014, when they changed it to 1,000 or more, I got my first check from Google. It was like $167.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, but then they took all my I have to have. It's crazy. There are new rules now. 1,000 subscribers, so many watched hours. I mean, it's just I'm good with it. This is a great place to store content, your memories.
Yeah, that's a good point. You mentioned that. I mean, it's kind of like Facebook is kind of like a timeline of memories and stuff, and then YouTube is kind of it's kind of the same thing, except it's more visual because you've got you got video instead of what am I trying to say? Video instead of just photos, So it is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself investing a lot of time in your YouTube channel, or do you think you're going to invest more time into your drone business?
That's a good question. I have been doing some reviews on a certain bike that I purchased over the pandemic. It was actually literally delivered to my door. I had to turn signals on. It already had oil in it. Just throw some gas in it, make sure everything's tight. It works really good. It is a China bike. It's a Lafon King Power Racing KPR 200cc. My first bike, so don't give me too much shit. I got 1,100 miles on it, and I'm already ready for something bigger. But I take it easy on it. I don't go out there and rip and roar on it. But I don't know. I know it takes a lot of time, and you got to put videos up more than weekly. I'm pretty religious about at least putting one a month up, sometimes more. I'm married. I bought a house and kids. It's hard. It's hard, and I don't. I wish that I could use YouTube to get some of my work out there on drones, in particular, out to the world. But I got to keep it real. I have a family. I live in the middle of the United States in Iowa. The way we live is probably different than a big city. And honestly, I don't like big cities. I don't like crowds either. So I don't know. I want to say yes, but I also don't know if I would be prepared for all the work, and same with my drone company. If I got so big that all I had was drone jobs all day long, my stepdad put this in my head one time. I was like, I don't even know if I like that, because some of my drone jobs I don't like doing. I've got to get out and work in the cold, go look for someone making drugs in the middle of the forest, look for a missing kid, cover a tornado, it. So I don't know. I guess a lot of the content that I gather, I can't load up on YouTube because I'm being paid for it. I'd be messing with copyrights.
Yeah, that is kind of the monkey thing. If you, unless you offered some sort of, something I've done with real estate a lot is the way that I'll structure my prices is that I'll say that, okay, well, here's a basic here's a basic video without any of your company's branding, this, that, and the other, and I'll host this for you. If you want to add your branding,
Right.
it's X dollars more, and I'll host it for you. And basically, when I'm saying I'll host it for you, that means it's on a monetized YouTube channel, so I can keep it up there. But if they pay more, then they just get the raw footage, or they can pay me to edit and put their logos in there, whatever. So so that way I've kind of got, and of course none of this do I put on IrixGuy's channel. I keep my IrixGuy and my other businesses completely isolated, But like you, I mean, I'm married. We've got a daughter and all that, and I keep that off of YouTube. Just it's weird,
They're never trying to poke their head in here.
Yeah. But it's just kind of weird, at the internet. I mean, the internet can be a freaky place, and I mean, I look at the internet. For me, the internet is is an opportunity to interact with like-minded entrepreneurs, this, that, and the other, and that's what's so cool about it. So just the ability to interact with people like you, hear your story. I mean, everybody wants a story, and the story you've told, other people watching this, that'll provide value, and hopefully it'll provide motivation. Hey, you can do this, and that's where a lot of people they're like, well, there's so many channels out there, there's so many people doing drones or whatever. People come to that conclusion that there's so many, and the market's so saturated. They talk themselves out of an opportunity, and what they don't realize is that yes, there's a lot of people, but if you put your neck out there and you establish yourself in a unique way, you can still become very successful. And it's not just, and that's the thing. I mean, there's so many people I know that are brilliant, and they've just floundered around, man. They haven't done anything, because they haven't tried. It's
something very well. They contacted you, said you want to be a partner. That's life changing right there, man. My hat goes off to you for that. And I don't know if you have a side job on the side or what, or you just get paid straight through Google or whatever, man. But you did something that I always dreamt about, and I couldn't come to me until later in life, when I started to simmer down, step back, look at the whole thing, and then react. It's like they say in the Bible, your tongue is like a sword. Think before you say something, because what you say or what comes out your mouth can be very penetrating. So hats off to you, my man. That's awesome. I'm honored to be on your show too.
Well, I'm honored to have you on here, and that's something I want to do with this channel, is do more of the live streams. And as we as more people that that want to share stories, I think this could become really entertaining and educational. And this admittedly live streaming is excuse me, I got the hiccups.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something that's new to me. And the only reason I started doing it, admittedly, I had YouTube earnings, and I'm like, there's this equipment, and that's when I bought the A10 Mini Pro, and I bought the Rodecaster Pro that we talked about so much last night. The main reason I bought that, full disclosure, is I'm like, this is something a lot of people are using right now because of the pandemic. They want to learn how to use it. Why don't I challenge myself to pick it up and play with it, have some fun, create some live shows, and it has provided value because people have found that content on my channel, and it's brought a whole new set of eyes to the channel. And that's what I'm about now, is growth. Because, back like you were saying, being invited to be a YouTube partner, I felt like I was late for the bus. I mean, I didn't realize the opportunity existed. Had I known that it existed several years previously, I mean, this could have been a really big deal. But, like you said, I've been involved with YouTube longer than you have. But I still feel like I kind of got on late, but neither one of us are really late, because it's, I've seen channels come up in the past year or so that have just blown through the roof. And, it's all about content strategy, and, how you do that. And that's where I've kind of fumbled with it. I mean, I've had a good time with this. I like the drones. I like the travel. Obviously if you're creative about how you do things, the value add that YouTube's provided for me has been the ability to to go to these perceived exotic locations. Keep in mind, I'm not going to exotic locations. I'm staying in a $90 to $100 US a night, just low rent, sometimes somebody's basement, detached part of their house, really cheap, right? But I do that because I go to those places for the sole purpose of capturing content. So I'll go to all these islands, capture the tour, the videos that people are searching for. That's greenfield content. It's always going to be relevant. I mean, a beach is always a beach. The hotels, if there's hotels on it or there's restaurants, those are always going to change. But the beach itself is probably always going to be relevant. So that's where I've taken this as a business, is more of a, hey, I can have fun and I can go on these business trips for the sole purpose of capturing content. But obviously, who doesn't like to go somewhere nice and capture content, I mean, it's kind of like
who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah, exactly. It's greenfield.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good way of putting it, because we go through 5 or 6 months, I think, of snow, lots of it, and yeah, people want to see that. People want to see greenfield.
So do you have in Iowa, and admittedly I'm kind of stupid as far as geography is concerned, but is that do y'all have snow skiing and stuff there, or is that not in your state?
Yeah, we got little hills. We got little hills. Yeah, we got some man-made parks where they actually blow snow. These poles, it's got to be a certain temperature and it blows out a mist. Not super tall, like where you're from. You might be able to go. I don't know how far the Smoky Mountains are, but those are pretty, and those probably have some nice real mountains. We do have some bluffs on each side of the state, and they are up to 400 to 600, 900 feet tall. So a lot of people that are from here are like, those are mountains, and no, them mountains, dang old mountains. Go west, go to Colorado. But yeah. Usually we like to just bumper slide, grab on, tie a rope, back car, and get a big old parking lot, do a dang old donut. But nah, not really. Well, there's like 2 snow hills, one's tubing, and it's probably 30 seconds you're down the hill. So that's it. That's not it. We got a lot of corn here, a lot of your ethanol when you go and you get cheap stuff with the ethanol, and I don't run that stuff in my car. That's really not good for it, but it's supposed to be good for the air. A lot of that comes from the dang old cornbread state right here in Iowa.
Oh, very cool.
My grandfather, he was a farmer of 10,000 acres and dang old cows too. Yeah, and pigs, pig willies. Yep, I couldn't go out there. Big old bull, he wouldn't let me go out there. And when he went out there, my grandpa, he had to bring a hammer. I guess he had hit it in the head because the bull was so mean. But yeah, it was a big old pig. We weighed like 600 pounds.
That's crazy, man. Greg, Jake's got a question for you. He says, have you ever heard of the camcopter or Fox at UAVs?
The camcopter thing, I live in the Des Moines area, so we're our Fox is 17, our NBC is channel 13, channel 8 is channel 8, that's CBS, and 5 is ABC. So I'm not sure, no, but I don't know if he's talking about websites or local stuff, because the news does call for 13 or something, but not camcopter. They all got their own names. So I'm Eagle Eye 5 for Channel 5, their unofficial pilot, and then Channel 8 has Drone 8, and then Channel 13 is Chopter 13. So they all got their own little names. So I don't know if he's talking about the websites or.
Yeah, and then Brad says he hears that Apple's going to release a 14-inch MacBook Pro on Tuesday's announcement next week, and I bet that 14-inch MacBook Pro is probably going to have the new, Apple's going to the ARM processors, which is their own CPU, and I bet that 14-inch rumored MacBook Pro is probably going to have that, so that'd be pretty cool. If that if that comes out.
Alberta, that's a beautiful place. I've had some friends up by there, and they actually worked for the ice pilots thing. She was like one of the rampers, if they call them that. That's awesome. And then no UAVs and drones. Huh? No, I haven't heard of that, Jake. Sorry, but props to you living in they call that the Northwest Territory. That's where I think the Rocky Mountains start up there, and it's gorgeous. I've only seen pictures, and I'd love to go there, but that looks a little tree friendly area.
Yeah, the Rockies are freaking awesome, man. I've only been there twice. I've been to Denver. We're right outside of Denver. Went up to Aspen and Vail and Breckenridge, and then I went to Canadian Rockies, which I think was my favorite of all time, in British Columbia, in Whistler, and that place was freaking cool, man.
Okay, I think I know what Jake is talking about, and if it's a little drone about like this, and it looks maybe like a mosquito, yeah, in magazines. I think you can get them for the public, but I think they're pretty expensive though. But yeah, I've heard of those things. They don't even hardly make a sound. They're crazy. You can go through walls, FPV, and they've been using them, I guess, since 2012. And it's supposed to be hush hush. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I have heard of that. I didn't know that was what it was called. For some reason, I thought it was called like the mosquito or something, because it's only about that big, and it can fly in windy areas too. It's crazy.
Brad just came through with a comment. He said Brad's going to the Grand Tetons in Yellowstone in 2 weeks. Man, that's gonna be awesome. That is the real deal. And I hope you're taking your drone, Brad. If you're not taking your drone, you've got problems, man. Let's see. Jake says my Fox is a fire service drone, and my camcopter is a search and rescue drone for local fire service. And Jake says, "Oh, you're thinking of the Black Hornet Nano drone."
Oh, I am. Hey, we got someone else joining us in.
Is that Hybrid Life?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
What's up? How's it going?
We're just living the dream, talking about drone business and travel. What about yourself?
Oh, I just got home, picked up some silver bullion. But anyway, I liked the conversation. I was listening to it the whole way, so keep going.
Very cool. Well, tell us, Hybrid Life. Tell us about yourself, man. I know you've been on here before, but
yeah. I guess as you know, I'm starting that YouTube channel, Stocks and Watches. So look out for that. I have a lot of interest in watches and investments and stocks, and that's something that's coming soon. So I'm not a big drone guy, but I want to get a drone as far as camera footage for the YouTube channel. So I know I reached out to you earlier this week and asked you what drone I should buy, and I'm looking at that, so I'm excited for that. Other than that, I'm a student studying to be a doctor, and as you know, and a previous Marine Corps member, and yeah, that's about it.
For your service.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Heck yeah, man.
So, to Irix's guest, do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. It's called Gregory Ruger. That's it.
Gregory Ruger. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I want to check yours out too. I'm definitely. I actually dated a DO while she was in her first year. Oh, good girl. She's actually a surgeon in Colorado, but she went to Des Moines University here in Des Moines. It's a very, I guess, really good school. So that's definitely awesome. You're in the field of medicine. I can't believe you got to have a big heart for, especially the pandemic. I mean, I wouldn't want to be touching people, and a lot of the doctors need to be doing it like this, but it takes a real heart to be a doctor. And my daughter is actually an RN in an emergency room, and I don't know how she does that, because when she was a little girl, sight of blood just make her cry. But she's there saving lives, breaking ribs, bringing them back to life.
That's awesome, man. Good on her. That's great to hear. Emergency room, tons of action. So I'm sure she loves her job.
She a lot more than her dad. But yes, she does love her job. She actually just made me a grandpa. The day I got married this June. It's crazy. But yeah, she's actually getting ready to go back and work in the hospital because of the whole COVID thing during her pregnancy. They're having her do other things. But yeah, she's a lead nurse.
Man, that's amazing. Sweet. That is awesome. Yeah, well, so I'm going to check out your channel. What are you guys talking about right now? I took about a 10-minute intermission because I just got home. So
we're talking about
what are you guys
drones
talking about?
and drone businesses. Greg owns a drone business, and just talking about that and the cool things that he's been involved with. Now, Hybrid Life, stocks and watches. You think you'll be ready for a live show at the end of the week, or what's your think? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, how do I get it to the fact where me and you are communicating on one channel? Are we going to be using Zoom for that?
Well, that's completely up to you. I mean, you can. So this is right now what I'm using is Skype, but I'm using it in conjunction with that ATEM Mini Pro.
Okay.
So this that everybody's seeing right now is actually just a shared monitor, a shared virtual monitor. You might want to check out, there's a really cool, and they've got a free version, which is not really gimped at all. It just has a watermark. It's called StreamYard. I don't know if you've heard of StreamYard. I'm going to type that in the comments, StreamYard. It's a tool that'll let you bring in, a lot of live guests. You can highlight comments from guests. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down and check that out.
Yeah, StreamYard's probably what I'd recommend, because that'll, just kind of get the momentum going. And I mean, I think, the channel, with your channel, the stocks and watches, I think that's one of those, as the conversation gets started, I think it's going to I'm pretty confident it's just going to blow up. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal for sure, especially, having live shows with you, and then whoever else wants to do a live show, whoever has interest in watches or wants to provide insight. Even with stocks too, if you have any type of interest in the stock market, any ideas, I mean, the stock market has to be more popular than it's ever been or has been in a long time, because, people that are investing in stocks that I know are investing right now that I never thought would be investing. And, I'm a little bit younger as far as the, the demographic that invests, but, it's pretty common nowadays. So I think the stock aspect of the channel has a good way to grow as well.
Well, and stock's never going to go out of style. The same thing with watches. People are always going to want to invest, and people are always going to want, collectors are always going to want a, really cool watch. So I think it's a perfect combo. And, one feeds the other. You do well with stocks, you can, you can treat yourself to a cool watch,
Yeah, exactly. So Gregory, or do you go by Greg?
Yeah, you can call me Greg. Gregory.
Yeah.
Gregory is my full name. Gregor Ruger is my channel name, something I thought of. And my 3-year-old calls me Googer because she has problems pronouncing Ruger. So I'm Googer this and Googer that.
Nice, that's awesome. So how long have you been doing YouTube for?
I started in 2010. We were talking about this. I just basically had used the camera on the back of my phone. I found some little cheap cameras and I was putting them on my remote control airplanes.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's awesome.
I didn't get. I want to say something real quick about your silver bullion. That's awesome. In 2002, I did city water and wastewater management, and I delivered chemicals to wastewater facilities for sanitary water. The guy I worked for was way into gold, and back then it was 300 an ounce in 2002 or 2003.
Oh yeah.
He offered me to start taking like $70 a week and put it towards gold, and I told him, but I didn't. I needed the money at that time. I couldn't see myself putting $70 a week away. Oh my gosh, do you know how much money I would have now because it's so expensive? I mean, 1 ounce of gold is like what, 12 or 1,300 bucks?
No, that's actually more like 2,000.
You're doing this.
Yeah, it's almost an ounce of gold right now is with the premiums. It's about $2,000 an ounce. Yeah,
That's insane.
and I know Irix. I know you're not a gold or silver bull, but yeah, no, I love collecting. I like the fact that it's just a fun hobby to do, to collect the bullion. I don't treat buying the metals necessarily as an investment. More so, I do as a hedge. You know, just in risky times, I feel like the economic times we're in right now is a little bit uncertain. So not only does it provide that collector's aspect, which, you know, it's a fun hobby to have, but it also provides some sort of security. At least I like to think it does. You know, you could look at it as, oh, what are you doing? You're buying at all-time highs, at least for gold. But, you know, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as, hey, it's a hobby. If it goes back down to 1,000, whatever, you know, I enjoy holding on to the coins and going to hug it at night. You know, I have money in stocks and stuff as well. But no, it's just a great hobby to have. And like you said, you know, maybe in 20 years it can 10x, just like how gold was $300 an ounce in 2000, and now it's, you know, 15 times that.
Yeah.
Well, not 15, like 7 or 8 times that.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah,
Well,
no. So
one cool thing with coins, you know, if you're not dealing with rounds or bullion bars, if you get into some coins, some of the ones with a little bit of numismatic value, even if the metal itself dips, you know, you still may have that numismatic value. There's a lot of coins that are pretty reasonably priced above spot. You know, you've got your you think of Perth Mint in Australia, you've got your kookaburras, you've got your koalas and some other coins that are just, you know, a small premium over spot that, you know, from a collectability perspective, that a few years later, I mean, they typically appreciate significantly just because of the, you know, the coin collector crowd. Even though they're not a very valuable from a numismatic perspective, they still appreciate with their numismatic value. Have y'all ever messed with numismatics, collectible coins?
I've been a collector for a while, and I'm looking at Jake. I have pennies from Canada, and I guess they don't even have the pennies in Canada. And I have actual paper money from Canada, Canadian paper money, and I guess everything turned to plastic. I just have a very small collection. When my dad went to Newfoundland, he used to go to Ontario, Jamaica. I have some foreign coins, not super much, but just a little bit. And yeah, your turn now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. You know, I don't have a ton of experience with numismatic coins, or however you say it, but you know, my dad, when I was a kid, he owned a comic book and a sports card shop. So he had a bunch of sports cards and comic books, and then he started coin collecting as well. So he's got tons of coins. I mean, all kinds of different types of coins, and so, you know, I've seen a lot of them. And I kind of grew up with them, but, you know, I never really understood what they were until recently and how valuable they can be. So before, I just kind of looked at them as like another toy, kind of like a comic book. And did I know that, you know, comic books are worth tons of money too? Pretty crazy.
Well, and see, I never knew what they were. It was 2009. I got married in 2009, and we met. My wife and I met this couple, and his job, he was a numismatist, and I'm like, what the heck's a numismatist? And he explained, you know, it's a coin collector, and that kind of piqued the interest. And at the time, all I did was stocks. You know, I traded penny stocks and big board stocks, and it fascinated me. So I got interested in in semi-numismatic coins, and I haven't learned a lot about it, but you know, I've learned that if I buy certain things, that even if the spot price of silver or gold dips, that I can still pretty much get the bulk of my money back, or maybe even still make a profit, you know? So it's kind of a way to lessen you're going to spend more up front probably than you would for just a generic piece of gold or a generic piece of silver, but you may actually protect yourself in the long run. I mean, who knows? It's all a crapshoot, but it's fascinating. You know, it's like anything else. Any other investment, you never know what's going to go. Like Greg said, his gold thing, I mean, who would have known that gold would have been $2,000 a troy ounce right now, you know? I mean, it's...
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's unbelievable.
But,
so, yeah. Are you into watches at all?
That's funny you asked because I love Rolex watches, and I went on my very first cruise right before this pandemic, and people were wearing masks on this cruise. We went to Galveston, Texas, and went to Cozumel and Progreso, and then Cozumel, Mexico. 5-day cruise. Always loved it. Looked at them on the ship, didn't want to buy them, but honestly, I was telling Irix that the best watch I have is like $150 Fossil watch. I got like I have 3 Fossil watches. That's it. But I love watches. I don't throw down money like that. I'm all married now and got dang old bills.
Right. You know, the great thing with watch collecting though is that, you know, you can have a great collection with watches that are only $100 a piece or however much they cost. You know, collecting watches is more so just the enjoyment of having a lot of watches you like. It's not necessarily how much they cost. You know, some watches people have these Patek Philippe's, they're hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you know, I would never wear it, but you know, I could put on, you know, a $3,000 Tudor or a Breitling or even like $100 G-Shock, and I could have more satisfaction with that G-Shock or that Tudor or that, you know, entry-level Rolex than I would have with that $200,000 Patek Philippe. So it's really just what you enjoy. It's the artwork, what fits you, and what you like about the watch. You know, so that's one great thing about watch.
100,000.
Oh,
so put 18 or 1,000. That's how much my dang old house cost. My house is on my watch.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane. I'm looking at Rolexes that's, you know, entry level. I guess maybe they're entry level when they start at like 7,000, and some of them might be used.
It's blown up.
Yeah. A lot of entry level Rolex, especially the sports models, as Irix knows, you can't get them at retail. And if you want to get some of these watches, you're going to pay, you know, at least with this recent new line of sports models, a lot of these entry level like Rolex Submariners have doubled in price. You know, they already had a premium of a couple $1,000s from retail, and now they doubled from that. So, for example, they have the Hulk, which is a watch that I have. I think you pay with tax maybe $9,750 around there, and you could pick them up on the gray market for $11,000. And now they're going for 20, 21, 22 because they discontinued the model. So it's crazy.
It's manipulated. And I mean, I've only got one. I've got the Submariner, but I bought it when you could get a discount and you walked into the authorized. I got it like 10 years ago. And, you know, you walked in, they had all the references. They had the Hulk there when I bought this. But, you know, it's just gotten so expensive. I mean, unless I really break through and create some sort of fascinating business model, I don't see myself getting another one anytime soon. You know, it's just I don't know. I don't want to say unfairly that they've manipulated the supply, but in essence, what's happened is that, you know, like Hybrid Life just said, you can't walk into, well, I mean, you can't walk into an AD and buy anything right now, and it's a gray market, and it's just a huge inflated premium. But if I don't know, they're great watches, but I personally couldn't justify the current cost of them.
No, it's kind of like buying Tesla at $2,500 a share. You know, it's just wait till it dips a little bit instead of buying into this craziness.
Yeah, definitely. But well, guys, we need to get up. Let's get up. What's that, man?
I got paid.
You got paged?
I gotta pay.
Oh, you gotta pay.
I'm getting paged if that's what you hear. I'm trying to shut it off.
Yeah. Well, guys, I've got to.
Let's all get together soon.
Yeah, let's get up soon. I hate to do it. I've got to break loose. We've been going a little bit over an hour. I got to take care of some projects I'm working on, and yeah, let's get up soon, guys. Let's live show.
Thank you, both of you guys.
Yeah, Greg, nice to meet you, and hopefully
very nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Irix, thank you for having me on your show and letting me talk, man. That's big and emotional to me, and I appreciate it. And just keep it rocking, man. That's awesome what you do out there.
Well, Greg, I appreciate you joining, sir, and thanks for all the cool stuff and Hybrid. Appreciate you joining, and I look forward to joining your your Stocks and Watches show when you get that rolling, man.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for letting me hop on here quick. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.
Cool. Y'all have a good evening. See ya. Bye-bye.